fire signs, this week you may be ready to fling yourself away from some tension or some stress with your home life. Anything to do with your house or your family may be posing a bit of a challenge at the moment, with Saturn there showing up in the 4th house. It's a key word of charity if that means anything to anyone in particular, but really it is this feeling of testing, being tested by some dogs in the background. And you might just feel ready to take a leap and get out of Dodge in some kind of way. Here we are with the Knight of Wands providing a bit of fiery impetus to move things along to a new area. So there is impetus here to move things on, to gallop away, to kind of throw your toys in a way is what just came to me, because we do have some conflict here. It doesn't have to be hard out conflict, but there is just some tension or some adjustments required there, a bit of niggle. And it feels like you may even have somebody in the middle of things, hi puppies, somebody in the middle of things saying no, or kind of acting a bit like a referee here. The Hierophant, this is a teacher figure, this is somebody wise. So, you know, there might be the urge to gallop off and do something kind of rash, and there might be some tension around that, but there is a calling out here to use some wisdom in this situation. So let's see what else the universe wants to tell you about this desire for freedom and escaping the limitations that might be holding you back in your home and family right now. Well, someone in your circle here or in this situation may be controlling the narrative a bit much. They may have their own spin on things. They may not be telling the entire truth as you see it. So there could be a bit of disagreement here about either the best way forward or what the reality of a certain situation is. And I'm feeling the stubbornness there from this child card, whether this is something that goes back to your childhood, whether this is your own kids who are sort of squabbling and there's some issue here, or just one person, maybe both people in a slight disagreement are at odds and clinging quite stubbornly to their own point of view and maybe not willing to negotiate. And this is kind of what this card is. It's sort of like, where does the truth lie? It's grappling with the other side, if you like, to try and kind of tease out the truth in a matter. We've also got the Youth card here of breaking free. So there is somebody's really wanting to free themselves out of a situation that feels like a bit of a quagmire. What's the advice? How's this situation going to unfold for the one thing? And then we'll look at the advice. Well, there will be peace for you at the end of this quite fraught situation. Something will come to the finish. This tension will culminate in something that will actually have you sitting pretty in a way. You may not even have to do much to bring this ending about, because the Empress is quite passive's not quite the right word, but the Empress doesn't take action. The Empress just sits back and attracts situations in. It's a very abundant energy. It's motherly energy. Whether your mum is going to get involved and just calm everything down, that is one potential reading of that card there. But it's certainly the end of this discord and pain, followed by some peace and quiet and a bit of recovery here. This could be a bit of a sick bed, a health crisis, but there is recovery at the end of that. Well, this is interesting. The energy to lean away from is the King of Cups. So that is, well, in the negative, it can be someone emotionally manipulative. This can be a water sign energy, masculine, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But this could be overly sentimental, pulling at the heartstrings to try and sort of manipulate a situation in the negative. So lean away from any of that kind of emotional kind of blackmail, if you like. You want to bring some emotional maturity to this situation, because somebody else on the other side may not be in their most emotionally balanced, stable, mature self, just at the moment. You are being urged to lean towards the Sun, which is the brightest, happiest, lightest card in the deck. And this is joy and optimism. So really lean in towards that. And you are being advised to keep your own counsel. So as best you can, meditate and contemplate. I'm coming back to the Empress now again, of this kind of letting all the tension swirl around you if you can, without taking an active role, unless you really need to defend yourself. So don't weigh in and make things bigger or make things worse. There does seem to be some hidden information that is about to come out. And you may well receive some intuitive guidance through this sort of thing. You may suspect what's going on under the surface, and you may be really wanting to call people out with the book burning and encourage people to tell you what's really going on. So that could be an element that's here as well. But you are really, there does seem to be a lot of benefit here in just keeping wise counsel, biting your tongue as best you can. Don't buy into the tension around you if you can get away with it. You have this beautiful heart chakra here indicated with the It's In You card of courage. So be like the lion, know that you have the fortitude emotionally to deal with whatever this situation is that seems to be throwing everyone else off balance and making them maybe lose their minds a little bit. You have the calm confidence and emotional security here to kind of contain this energy, to hold it for the group or for the family. Is what it feels like. Yes, so the kerosene indicates it could get a little bit fiery, it could get heated, things can flare up suddenly from out of nowhere. But by the same token, it feels as though this will move on as quickly as it came. So with a slingshot, things may be quite volatile, but they tend to be over and done with really quickly, and you are soon propelled into peace and calm and rising above this. So whatever it is, try and write it out with as much dignity as you can muster this week. There is freedom and peace at the other end of it, and you might just want to be shot at the whole thing right from the get-go. But this is saying keep calm, be a voice of reason as best you can, and this too shall pass. If you'd like your own personal reading, go to my website. But otherwise, this is Sarah wishing you much abundance, love and joy.